mind even more. They had a building on Main Street. You remember Main Street, USA? They had like all those shops that you can go into. It was like very like, 30s and 40s America. They had, I shit you not, an intimate apparels, brassieres, and torselettes shop in Disneyland.
Do they have any, like, that's weird. I'm surprised they'd have that around kids.
Well, that's the thing. They would, like, I don't even know if they would, like, just let their kids, like, be like, fuck off, man. See, it's the 50s. Go do whatever you like. Come back. But it was almost like one of those, like, tour rides where you would just, like, walk through and, like, experience, like, whatever they had to show you.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that would walk you through, he called himself the Wizard of Bras. And he would, like, walk you through, like, the magical world of undergarments.
How do you apply for that job? You gotta be a real creep to be like, hey, what, like, because I gotta imagine it was a guy, because you said.
I think it was a guy. I wasn't sure if it was a guy or if it was, like, one of those on-screen things. But for the 50s, I would assume it was a person.
Sure.
So, or maybe like one of their like earlier animatronics. Not sure if I don't think they had any big animatronics until like the 60s, because that's when they made the Lincoln thing, like the Hall of Presidents and all that.
Because I could see a dude in the 50s being like, yeah, I am the bra wizard. Yeah, I know everything about women there needs to know.
Dude, real weird. Just real strange. Like, I can't even imagine that in a Disney park, let alone any park today that isn't like, what, Las Vegas? Like, I don't even know where else that should be.
Your mom's bedroom. Oh.
It could be. Oh. So there was another ride. So after Disney expanded to the reaches of the world, I think they expanded to Tokyo first, and then they went to Paris, which is like a huge mistake, financial mistake on their part. But Tokyo did very successfully, actually. And they wanted to do like a bunch of like custom stuff that you couldn't find like anywhere else in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like they wanted the authentic Disney feel, but they wanted like some more relevant rides, like just to Tokyo in general.
Sure.
So one of the rides that they did was kind of similar, not similar to the intimate apparels thing, but like there was like a guide that walked you through like an experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a ride underneath the Cinderella Castle in like the center, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's like the tour through the castle, and you would like do this like really cool stuff and like see like these magic items." But apparently it was, and they closed it recently, which sucks because I would have loved to go to Japan and experience this. It was like a horror walkthrough, and you would like go through like the dungeons of like all of these ridiculous villains and stuff. And
I would
not
was like want to do that.
Oh man,
especially in Japan,
radical.
Dude, they know their horror so well. It would be so well done. I'd probably stroke out.
Dude, so do you remember the Haunted Mansion like at all, really? Do you know like, so there's like the one part where there's a lady like telling fortunes, and she's like a head like kind of in like a mystical orb, and she's like doing enchantment shit.
Yeah.
So that same lady, they had her face superimposed on, they did like a magic mirror type situation that would give you the tour in this Japanese walkthrough. Dude, it was a creepy looking face because they like used, I think they were like very respectful of like the Japanese culture, and they used like the face paint that they would use like in their spiritual sense of the world to make it like this face that like resembled like death for the Japanese people. And I was like, oh my God, like this is creepy, man. And I think it's one of the only rides that gives a nod to, do you remember that movie, The Black Cauldron?
Was Whoopi Goldberg in that one?
I don't think so.
That's a shame.
Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg should be in a lot more stuff.
Why isn't she in more things? Whoopi Goldberg's awesome. She needs to be in more things.
She doesn't just need to be in more things, honestly.
Yeah, she's dope.
But like, she's doing her thing with The View.
It's
And
true.
like that's it, right? I don't even know.
I mean, what else does she need to accomplish? She's done everything.
She's done Ghost.
Yep.
She killed it there.
She killed it in the Nun movies.
Yup.
What were those called? Nun 1 and Nun 2? Sister Act!
Sister Act.
Why didn't I know that? Okay. What were you saying?
In the 80s, they made this movie, The Black Cauldron, and it was like a total flop that just like really set Disney back financially in terms of the film industry.
Mm-hmm.
And like not a lot of people went to go see it because it had a lot of like adult themes. It was like Arthurian folklore that really didn't resonate with a lot of people. It was like really scary and the jokes didn't really hit. Whatever the case was, it wasn't really that great or considered that great of a Disney movie.
Right.
For whatever else it was going up against. So not a lot of people wanted to use that IP in the parks. But Japan was like, no, this has like a lot of really cool stuff that we could use to scare the shit out of people. So the main villain in it was like this demon lord. Like at the end of the tour, there was like this demon lord at his cauldron, and he was like casting this like evil spell, and like the entire tour is in Japanese, but like a rough translation was basically like, oh, we're going to collect your souls for the damned, and the dead shall raise and take over the entire world, and you will know pain and suffering for all eternity, and this, and I was like, dude, why the fuck is this in a Disney park? I need to go to this. And like they would like quickly turn it around and be like the tour guide would find one of the kids on the tour, and they would be like, all right, hold up the sword and like protect us, and you know, you could like fend him off and like cast a spell on him and he dies, blah blah blah. Dude, wild stuff.
Wild.
I wish
Absolutely
they had more rides
wild.
like that.
And you know what? Speaking of theme parks, you know what's one thing we need to talk about?
What?
We need to talk about theme park food.
Oh yeah.
Because have you ever been to Disney World and like just eaten at like the Italian pavilion?
Oh, and like Epcot.
Yeah.
How they have all the
like,
countries. Dude, I stop every single time in Germany because they always have German imported beer.
Oh,
as
yes.
expensive and marked up as they make it, I don't care because it's just so good. And
exactly.
it's just like this feeling because it's like, dude, you're in Disney. Just get it. You get a giant pretzel. You get a giant beer. Hell yeah. It's so nice.
It's so good. They always have the best, like, I remember they had these Mickey Mouse cinnamon roll things, and it was the thing was bigger than my head. I mean, the thing was massive. And
the turkey legs they have are bigger than your head. Everything is bigger
everything is, right? The funnel cakes. Oh, the turkey legs is so good, dude.
You got to get the pineapple whip, the Dole Whip.
Right. You got to try, you know, like they have the corn dog nuggets. Like there's a lot of battered stuff. But
it's just easy to make.
Right, but I think their most famous one is probably the Dole Whip. I always hear people talk about that being really good.
Yeah, I am able to have... They have orange Dole Whips. They're not all pineapple, thank God. Because the orange one is, like, really good.
I'm more of a... See, if I go to a park, I need, like, a funnel cake or some kind of, like, churro. That's my go-to.
Oh, the churros at Disney are phenomenal.
Yep. The churros are amazing.
I always like a good classic Mickey Ice Pop. Like the chocolate one that you bite into with the chocolate shell and there's just vanilla ice cream in the center.
That's classic.
Classic.
They sell those at the grocery store.
I would never buy them from the grocery store. I
It's
would
probably
only
not
ever
the
get them in
same.
the park.
Yeah.
You can't get the same feeling, right?
Probably not, but I'm sure if you like got drunk enough and like came home and was like, oh, I need something, and
oh my god, I want to go to Disney right now.
And you take one bite
right
and
in my freezer.
You're in Disney, baby. Kick your feet
That's
up.
fair.
Put a lawn chair in your garage. Let the breeze flow in. It's probably better than Disney.
I would beg to differ. I would beg and plead and kick around screaming like a 5-year-old at Disney World to differ.
Yeah, well, do you think they have like a secret society under Disney? Because I
Well,
heard
they do. Did you
don't-
not know that's true?
Well, I know they've got like where like the cast and everybody, don't they like live under the park?
Well, they don't live under the park, but
No, I
they
heard
have,
there's like roads and shit.
There's not like a town under there.
I
but
think there is.
I don't
think
know
there's-
about that.
There's like luxury custom single family homes.
Really?
I think so.
Well, I'm gonna have to move there then. That's the only place I want to be. I'm hungry. I go above ground for my churro, and I come back down to my little hidey hole.
But could you imagine if there was a secret society under there, or like living like inside the castle that everybody sees the fireworks at?
Dude, that would be crazy. But you know they do have a hotel room in the castle.
Have you ever gone to it?
No,
I don't think I'd
dude,
want
that shit's
that.
way too expensive.
Plus,
I don't know if I
you'd be
would
like
want
the
that.
center of attention.
Well, like the center of not only the center of attention, but like when everybody's locking up for the night, they're like, "All right, good night, family."
Yeah.
You're just gonna stay in the park alone all night.
Ugh.
Yeah, that would be weird.
That's a creepy feeling. What if like you're watching the fireworks and like you just look up and see somebody, like a couple, having sex in the hotel? Like, what the fuck?
I guarantee you that's happened before.
Oh, for sure.
I've heard that people were fucking on It's a Small World back in the day because of how slow the boats would go. They would like bang out a quickie and catch up to the boat.
Now that's adventurous.
Once they were done. Yeah, it's a small penis after all.
Hey,
Hey, small pee-pee joke. Well, you know, we're talking about a lot of Disney, a lot of Universal, but I do have another park that I don't know if you would know about.
Let me
Jacobson.
guess. Okay,
Uh-huh.
Knott's Berry Farm.
No, but I love Knott's Berry Farm. I love the peanuts.
Six Flags.
No.
Wisconsin Dells.
No, I don't know whatever the hell you got going on up there.
That's a water park, the world's largest water park.
Is it the world? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But you're not far off. It is a water park. It was considered more water park than not.
Okay, what is it?
It was called Action Park. It was in Vernon, New Jersey.
I've never heard of it. What was it?
Yeah, dude. Okay.
Like a slip and slide out down by the, by the municipal waste?
No. So it started off as like, I don't know if you have these up in Wisconsin, but they have some water parks that are like, it's a ski resort during the winter, and then when it's summer, it turns into a water park.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one of those.
Okay.
So like during the summer, it was a water park called Action Park. And basically the entire idea around this park was like you control the park. Like you would, you know, there was like an alpine slide where you would like take a little scooter thing and you would like go down like this alpine pipe, or like they had like, you know, bumper boats and like go-karts, and a lot of it was like not really restricted, so they kind of just like let people do their own thing pretty much, which was kind of messed up. They even had like one section of the park that it was like bumper cars, but you were in like fucking tanks and you would shoot tennis balls like at other tanks.
What the?
Yeah. And then like at the water park section, they had, you know, like those swinging Tarzan rope things that people will do, like, and like jump in the water.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever.
And you would get like a rope burn between your thighs.
Yeah. They had like one of those, and they had like a bunch of just like ramps and tubes and stuff. They had one tube slide in their water park section. It was called the Cannonball Loop.
Cannonball.
It was literally, dude, it had a loop in this tube. And like when they were testing it, I shit you not, they would use test dummies, and the test dummies would come out of the tube missing their fucking head, and they would say, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's all right. No worries.
And people would people would go on this thing. People would go on this cannonball loop and like come out with like fucking broken noses.
Jeez, miss me with that. I do not want to go shot out of a cannon and have my dick ripped off.